Oh, hey. What's up, guys? This is Jacobi. So, I was thinking, as one does, right? About, what's your greatest fear? Some people may say, spiders, or snakes, or the deep ocean. And that's fine. Other people may say, losing my family, or not being able to provide for them, or not being viewed favorably, like having your reputation diminished. And yeah, absolutely. Those are all legitimate fears. And others. Clowns for some people. I think my biggest fear is losing my memory. And not just sometimes forgetting things. Because I already have a pretty poor memory, but I know who I am, right? And forgetting who I am sounds absolutely horrifying to me. To some people, it might be oh, that'd be really nice. If you've done something or had something done to you, maybe that would be a dream come true. But for me, I don't have any illusions that I'm perfect. Right? But I'm interested in things. I'm curious. And if I lost that about myself, I mean, the upside would be I didn't know or wouldn't know that I lost it. It would just be, oh, this is who I am. Nobody. Cool. Alright. And I wouldn't know to not like that. But for me as I am, that sounds terrible. Not to mention all of the oh, I forgot, who my dad was. Or I forgot where I live. That would be bad enough on its own. I forgot where I'm supposed to be going tonight, right? Which, it's only kind of tangentially related, but it reminded me of a thought experiment that I had heard about called the Boltzmann Brain. And the idea is this. So, if you think about like molecules and stuff, right? Like a molecule of air, if you're looking for a specific one, it might be, let's see, right here, or right here, or right here, or right here, here. And like it could just be anywhere. And that's fine. It's not hurting anything. That light is really annoying. It's not hurting anything to have that molecule be wherever. It just kind of moves around randomly, and you know that in general there will be whatever the number is, 100 parts per million in this area, right? But this specific little point right here might have 200 million or 50 million. But because it's all moving around randomly and all of that, it's fine. And it's probably not that drastic. It's probably not like 200 versus 50 in other spots. The difference would be like 101 versus 99, and it all averages out to 100. But because they can be, all different spots and different concentrations, and they can get denser and expand and get denser, and somebody realized that there can be like concentrations of atoms, molecules, subatomic particles, whatever, just randomly. And just because normally it's, in our case, 100 parts per million, if it's higher than that, it's fine. There's not a cutoff, right? It can be way lower or way higher. And part of the idea is that with that in mind, okay, to give another example, right? The bug just hit right here, right? Just random. And earlier a bug hit here, and a bug hit here, and a bug hit here. But so far, there's nothing right here. and it's just random, right? But does that mean that there's something incorrect about the way things are going because there's a bunch up here and a few down here, but right in this section it's empty? No, it's just random. Okay, what if just through weird happenstance and, you know, given enough time, there was one and then like 5 or whatever number to make like a little happy face? It'd be weird, yeah, and super uncommon, but and a bit morbid. I'll give you that. But like, is it possible? Yeah, absolutely it's possible. And that's the idea. Is that, is it possible? Yes. It's just not very likely. So if all of these whatever molecules or whatever coalesce, could they form a whatever necessary mechanisms? In this case it's a brain, but maybe it wouldn't have to be. But could it form into a brain, let's say? So out in outer space, there's all the different elements, right? Could they all coalesce and make a brain? Yes, but it's not very likely. Okay, so yeah, it's possible. Okay, could that brain, and now mean like literally a human brain, that, but like the equivalent, right? It could be, doesn't matter, just something, but we're just calling it a brain. Okay. Okay, so could that brain have all of these different thoughts? So could it form in a way that forms memories? Well, yeah. If it can form, then it's plausible it can form in a way that has memories already stored in it. And that's the idea, is that it forms, and that is what is, right? Where all of its memories are all of your life experiences. And it just happens to have formed in just the right way that you remember. I mean, in my case, today waking up, having dinner, driving to work, and then driving tonight. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it probable? We'll get back to that. Is it likely, or is it something we would expect to see everywhere? No. It seems like it would take a lot of attempts, right? Because if this molecule is out of place, or that molecule is in the wrong spot, then maybe it's a completely different set of memories and it thinks, oh, I'm living on Saturn. Or whatever. You know? So it would have to be, what, millions, billions, trillions of attempts? Okay. So it seems unlikely. Okay, but we're going through this. But which seems more unlikely? Is it more unlikely that, you know, a brain-sized amount of molecules formed to form memories that make you think everything up until this point is your life experiences, and that's just it? Or does it seem more likely that all of this, does it seem more likely that that car exists? Does it seem more likely that that stoplight is there? That we have billions of different consciousnesses on this planet? I suppose only counting humans, but that's another topic. But that seems like an amazingly wild stretch of the imagination to think that all the molecules in that sign, all the molecules in that car, all the molecules, all the atoms, all the everything formed to make the road that I'm on. To make that blade of grass. To make that tree. To make a perfectly breathable atmosphere for us. To make the Earth. To make the sun. To make the solar system. To make our galaxy. To make the universe. All of the different molecules involved all went to their spot where they belong, and they all coalesced to make everything. Is it more likely that significantly less stuff came together to make a brain that thinks it remembers driving tonight, that it remembers having dinner. I'm sure someone else has done the math, but it's so much more likely that that's all it is we're just a collection of space junk that thinks it's a human and nothing else exists. It's just you. And everything else, every other experience you've had, is just made up. It's just not true. And like, it's not a good... It's a good scientific thought experiment, but it's not good for, like, oh, we're gonna build a whole whatever program around this, because as far as I know, it's not disprovable. Because, okay, let's say you go, okay, I'm gonna sit down and figure out whether I'm real or if I just have a stock set of memories and I'm, just alive for this one instant. Okay, how do you prove that? Well, I will write down, I'm going to figure this out. Okay. That's explainable by saying you have a memory built into your head of you wrote something down. The paper doesn't exist. The pen didn't exist. You didn't actually write it down. You just think you did. But all of that was just made up, and this is the actual instant that you're in. It doesn't... Okay, well then I will take a video and then watch it, and that will show that, no, same deal. The video doesn't exist. You just have a memory of you recording and then watching the video, and it nothing exists in this idea. So it's neat to think about, but then it brings me back to my greatest fear. Because if that's all that I am, that sucks. Anyway, just I thought it was interesting. I don't know why it popped in my head, but it was fun. I got to show off the headset camera version instead of the dash cam. If you guys have any comments, questions, whether about the material or about the view or any of it, let me know. Throw something in the comments down below. If you like it, I would appreciate you hitting the like button. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're almost at the number we need for live streaming, which, again, I don't know if that's going to be a thing I would do regularly, but it's a fun thought experiment. Alright guys, until next time, I will talk at you later, and be safe.